Natural disasters, such as earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods, are among the most destructive and unpredictable forces of nature. They can cause massive destruction, loss of life, and displacement of people from their homes. However, with advancements in technology and science, the idea of controlling these disasters is not just a pipe dream. Subscribe now. Imagine a world where we could control natural disasters like we do with the lights in our homes. We could prevent earthquakes from happening, steer hurricanes away from populated areas, and control the flow of floods. It might sound like something out of a science fiction movie, but the truth is that we are already making significant strides towards this goal. One way we are working towards controlling natural disasters is through early warning systems. These systems use data from satellites, weather stations, and other sources to predict when a disaster might occur. For instance, when a hurricane is forming in the ocean, scientists can track its movement and predict where it might make landfall. With this information, people in the affected areas can evacuate in time, minimizing loss of life. Another way we are working towards controlling natural disasters is through infrastructure development. By building strong, resilient buildings, bridges, and roads, we can minimize the damage caused by earthquakes and other disasters. For example, in Japan, engineers have developed buildings that can withstand even the most powerful earthquakes. Similarly, in the Netherlands, the government has invested heavily in building levees and other flood protection systems to prevent flooding. In addition to these measures, scientists are also exploring new technologies to control natural disasters. For instance, researchers are studying ways to manipulate the atmosphere to steer hurricanes away from populated areas. They are also looking at ways to prevent earthquakes by injecting fluids into fault lines to reduce the pressure and prevent them from rupturing. While these technologies and methods are promising, they also raise ethical questions. Who decides when and how to intervene? What are the long-term effects of manipulating the environment? Should we be focusing on prevention rather than control? Ultimately, the idea of controlling natural disasters is both exciting and daunting. While we may never be able to completely eliminate these forces of nature, we can certainly work towards minimizing their impact. By investing in early warning systems, infrastructure development, and new technologies, we can make our world a safer place for all. However, we must also approach this goal with caution, always considering the potential consequences and the ethical implications of our actions. In addition to ethical questions, there are also practical considerations that must be taken into account when it comes to controlling natural disasters. For example, the cost of implementing some of these measures can be prohibitively expensive. Building infrastructure to withstand earthquakes, hurricanes, and floods can require significant investment, and not all countries or communities have the resources to do so. Moreover, natural disasters can also have important ecological and environmental functions. For instance, wildfires play a critical role in maintaining the health of many ecosystems. Similarly, floods can bring much-needed nutrients to agricultural lands and help replenish water sources. Therefore, we must also consider the ecological and environmental impacts of controlling natural disasters. We need to ensure that any interventions we make do not disrupt the delicate balance of our ecosystems or cause unintended consequences. Despite these challenges, the potential benefits of controlling natural disasters are enormous. By mitigating the impact of these disasters, we can save lives, protect communities, and preserve the environment. With continued investment in research and development, we may be able to achieve a future where natural disasters are no longer seen as inevitable, but rather as manageable risks that can be mitigated through science and technology. In conclusion, the idea of controlling natural disasters is a complex and multifaceted one that requires careful consideration of ethical, practical, and environmental factors. While we may never be able to completely eliminate the risk of natural disasters, we can certainly work towards minimizing their impact. By investing in early warning systems, infrastructure development, and new technologies, we can make our world a safer place for all, while also preserving the delicate balance of our ecosystems. In addition to these measures, public education and awareness campaigns can also play an important role in controlling natural disasters. By educating people about the risks of natural disasters and the steps they can take to prepare for them, we can empower individuals and communities to take action and reduce their vulnerability to these events. For instance, people can be taught how to stock up on emergency supplies, create evacuation plans, and participate in drills. Moreover, international cooperation and coordination can also play a key role in controlling natural disasters. By sharing knowledge, resources, and expertise across borders, we can improve our ability to predict, prepare for, and respond to natural disasters. For example, international organizations like the United Nations have created disaster risk reduction frameworks to help countries better prepare for and respond to natural disasters. However, it's important to remember that controlling natural disasters is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Different regions and communities face different risks and challenges, and therefore, require tailored approaches that take into account local conditions and needs. For instance, a community in a flood-prone area may require different infrastructure than one in an earthquake-prone region. In conclusion, while the idea of controlling natural disasters may seem far-fetched, there are many steps we can take to mitigate their impact. By investing in early warning systems, infrastructure development, new technologies, public education, and international cooperation, we can improve our ability to predict, prepare for, and respond to natural disasters. However, we must also approach this goal with caution, taking into account the ethical, practical, and environmental implications of our actions. Ultimately, our goal should be to create a world where natural disasters are no longer a source of fear and devastation, but rather a manageable risk that we can mitigate through science, technology, and collective action. In conclusion, the idea of controlling natural disasters may seem like a daunting task, but it is one that we must continue to pursue. By working together and taking a comprehensive approach that takes into account ethical, practical, and environmental considerations, we can improve our ability to predict, prepare for, and respond to natural disasters. Whether through early warning systems, infrastructure development, new technologies, public education, or international cooperation, we have the tools and knowledge to make our world a safer place. With continued investment in research and development, we can achieve a future where natural disasters are no longer seen as inevitable, but rather as manageable risks that can be mitigated through science and technology.